Hello. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is well. Welcome to the event of how to start a care agency. And this really does become one of my very first things that I did many years ago, about 10 years ago, uh, coming in May, 10 years, where I did my first event, and it was called How to Start Your Own Care Agency. And I think it's wonderful that I'm actually doing this. Again, it's like I'm doing full circle, but I wanted to do this for those of you that are just starting, or maybe you're not just started, you've already started, but you're perhaps a bit stuck, you haven't got that overview and guidance of how you can get moving forward. Perhaps you're feeling a bit stuck, or you're not sure which way to go. So like I said, this is really close to my heart because this was one of the first events that I did in the UK, Wembley, for example, and it was about how to start your own care agency. And I think it's so amazing that I'm doing this again, and I'm thankful to God that I'm here, that I'm able to talk and say this message, but in an updated version, because things have changed in a good way, because it's made me realize how valuable our life is and how valuable our time is, and also that we are entitled to the best as care providers. And I don't want care providers to get run down. I don't want you to become burnt out. I don't want you doing too much work as a business owner, because it is difficult when you're running a business. A care business is very difficult because you've got the responsibility to you and your family, for example. There's the responsibility to your staff members, and there's the responsibility to the community of who you serve. And I think that's really, really critical, that we serve in the best way possible, that we are giving the best that we can give within our healthcare organization. Christine Blackledge Crowell, and I am a 7 healthcare business mentor. Some people call me a 30-year care veteran because I've been specialized in the field of care. So I just wanted to also point that out to you. So welcome to the day one event. Day one, it's about understanding the care industry, because some of you may not understand the care industry and what really is involved. People think, oh, I just want to set up my own care agency and everything's going to be hunky-dory. But you need to know some of the things that we face as care providers, that, there's things that we need to be aware of, that we are needing to, really sometimes when we first start out, to be involved. We can't just sit back and think it's going to just fall into our laps, because it's not going to do it that way. It's not like it used to be many years ago. So we have to roll up our sleeves, and we have to think about things that we need to do in preparation to start your agency. And this is what this event is about as well, for starting your agency, so that you're getting a good overview of what your responsibility is, because you've got to be thinking about your staff, who you're going to be responsible for. You've got to think about, for example, the software that you're going to need. You're going to think about what service type are you going to deliver. You got to find out what the needs are in the community of where you're going to be serving and providing the service that you want to do as well. And look at when you've got staff members. Yes, staff members are gonna go, or they may come back, or they may go again. That's part of life. Life happens. So you will get a turnover of staff. That's not a bad thing. That means that your business is just growing, and sometimes it's not for the right people, but you want to leave space for the right ones to come in. So why have someone in your organization that isn't doing a good job at caring for someone? So you need to make sure that you hire the best possible candidates that you can, so that you don't have to go through all of that, starting all over again, training them up, and then they leave, for example. So, but always think about recruiting on a regular basis, because staff members, like I said, they will go off sick, they will have emergencies that need to be dealt with, for example. So you need to ensure that you've got a spare staff member that can go in and cover straight away, so it's not impacting on you. And if the need be, then you will need to go out to cover the care. So be prepared to be hands-on in your healthcare business. And I've been a care veteran for 30 years. I've got over 30 years experience in the care industry. So I'll guide you through the essential of starting your own care agency. I want you to, all of you, to grab a pen, grab a notepad, and start writing things down, because when you write things down, you listen more, you hear more as well. Although we got the video and you're watching me on this video here, but it's also good to have a notepad, pen, get a calculator ready next to you so that you can do some calculations, for example, or use your mobile phone, and you're good to go. So what I want to say is that you need to think about how you're going to be learning, and you'll be gaining insights in various sectors, because the care sector includes various different types of persons, for example, or ages. So it could be elderly care, children's services, for example, special needs care, adults. So identify what opportunities and challenges. Then what you need to do is explore those opportunities available in the care industry, and you will understand the challenges that you may encounter. And you will experience challenges in healthcare. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is part of life, journey of running a healthcare business. There will be challenges along the way, but each time you overcome that challenge, you'll be strong enough for the next challenge, and so on and so forth as you grow. Okay, so like I said, you'll be understanding the challenges that you may encounter in your entrepreneurial journey as well. And you need to also think about the essentials of starting a care agency, care business. You've really got to get a notepad and paper and write things down. Don't just go into things blindly, because then you're going to think, oh, I didn't realize I needed this. Oh, I didn't realize I needed that. This is basically doing your research before you go into something. Of course, any business, you have to pay for things. It's not a free thing. For example, even if you get a consultant, you still have to pay for the items that your business is responsible for. So let's dive in to the care industry. So I'll start with, let's look at laying the ground, laying the foundations. We'll dive deep into the care sector, exploring different avenues like elderly care, whether you want to do adult services, for example, special needs care, complex care, specialist care, for example, mild, medium to high. We'll look at these opportunities over the 3 days, but you need to think about what resonates with you. What is your heart-centered feeling when you think about what type of healthcare business that you want to run? We'll also talk about the hurdles that you may face along the way, because like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. And although this is a 3-day training, it is going to be informative. We've also got our training next week, so I hope that you have registered for the event next week, which is about, I believe it's about getting contracts, for example. Not I believe, it's about getting contracts, for example, because I think that's important. This is the first part, then there's the second part, which is important as well. So with elderly care, and I'll just go into the explanations of each section. So with elderly care, it involves providing care and support services to elderly individuals, service users who may need assistance with their daily activities like washing, bathing, dressing, meal preparation, medication assistance, management. in terms of that, and companionship, respite care, living care, palliative care, hospice care. The list is endless. So there is a growing demand for elder care for the elderly due to the aging population. We're living longer, and this is a good area for you to look at to start exploring whether you want to do elderly care, or whether you want to do adult care, or whether you want to do children's services whereby you are providing a service that is aimed for children, and it typically ranges from infants to school age kids, for example. And this can include, for example, looking after children with complex needs, for example, or maybe they've got mental health, for example, or physical disability that they need assistance with. So you really need to think about what resonates with you and is going to make you feel fulfilled. What really lights you up is the key here. Special needs care involves providing support and assistance to individuals with physical, developmental, behavioral, or emotional challenges. And this could involve individuals with disability, like, for example, they could have autism, spectrum disorder, or chronic illnesses. While this sector may require specialized training and expertise, it also presents opportunities for fulfilling work and making a meaningful impact on the lives of those in need. So let's look at the opportunities and challenges that you may encounter in each of these sectors. There's a growing demand with changing demographics and lifestyles. So there's an increase in the need for professional care services across all age groups. Flexibility is important. So the care industry offers flexible work arrangements, allowing entrepreneurs like yourselves to actually run a healthcare business. You can run a healthcare business part-time. You don't just, quit your job that's bringing money in. Use that to help pay for your business. Don't ever quit your job to start a care business. You've got to make sure that you've got the money coming in and that you're using that money, part of that money from your wages, to pay for things like software, your telephone, your insurance, for example. And think of working 1 day a week, for example, doing 1 day extra to help fund your healthcare business.